sinners, and saints. Dust off those horns and halos. It's time for Alan After Dark.
So anyway, I was out at a certain retail store and I really needed to pee. And I did see this hot guy, at least hot from behind, going into the men's room. So I thought, perfect opportunity, right? I go in and of course that guy must have went into one of the stalls. The urinals were all open. So I go over to take a leak. And then all of a sudden I hear, well, I'm going to try to paraphrase it. So it sounded something like this. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, is he dying over there? Anyway, I took that as my hint that I needed to get the fuck out of there. So I finish as fast as I can, wash the hands, and leave the men's room. I'm still kind of curious, so I'm outside the restrooms, but I'm nearby. I just want to see what the guy looks like from the front. Well, Jesus Christ, when he comes walking out and that black t-shirt had a Confederate flag on it, and I was like, bitch, get the fuck out of here, you motherfucker, what the fuck? You know, this being Pride Month, it's so funny how these right-wingers, when they see a post on social media, they'll post a GIF of an American flag and they say, this is my pride flag. And I'm like, why don't you go over to a fucking right-wing Nazi or Confederate page and criticize the Confederate flag, you motherfucking asshole cocksucking bitch? Of course they won't, because you know what? They're afraid. They're cowards, because those people who worship the Confederate flag, they're fucking psychos. So anyway, that kicked off my day of shopping. And then the woman who walked by with her t-shirt that said perfect, you know, like a cat purring or whatever. And I'm like, well, honey, that might work better if you would put your teeth in. I mean, you're walking around with flappers. I'm not trying to be judgmental here, but Jesus Christ, honey, you got to do something about that. Granted, there are guys who are all into being gummed like a barren corn cob, whatever the fuck that means. Jesus, Alan, what the hell's wrong with me? I know. Some of you are saying, get the fuck off the woman with no teeth. What about the guy? Was he really hot from the front? Because you could always grudge fuck somebody like that. I have to say no. He was a Bubba or a Buford or something like that. He was half the man his back was. Does that make sense? I don't know. I did see the Mohawk man. Once again, though, he's not the Mohawk man anymore. He lets his hair grow long, he combs it over, but that ass, Jesus Christ, there's still something about that man that just, it must be something to do with pheromones, you think? I think it must be. But he was actually getting off work. Too bad he wasn't getting off on me, but that's a different story. And the guy that I was telling you all about a couple of weeks ago, the guy who is a stalker at the grocery store, the one who bent over and he was knelt down toward the bottom shelf, and not only was he showing butt crack, but he had that patch of hair right above his ass crack that reminded me of the big cottontail of a deer. I have never seen a hairball that big on someone's back ever in my life. Actually, anywhere on anybody's body. But anyway, I saw him again today too. And it was as frightening as ever. I mean, he could go to the barber shop. They might trim that up a little bit or something. It doesn't have to look like the tail of a deer now, does it? Maybe that's his thing. Who knows? Maybe he can moose it or something to make it lay flat. Anyway, I digress. And if you all haven't figured it out yet, I have been drinking just a little bit while I regale you on these memories of shopping during Pride Month. Anyway, I am just really pissed about a lot of shit. I get so sick of these fucking right-wing bitches on social media bashing any Pride post they see. It's like they're so jealous. They're so consumed with the LGBTQIA community. I mean, do they lay in bed at night just thinking about us gay men sucking cock and they just can't deal with it? Is it because they get mad that it turns them on? I wonder. Did I ever bring up a woman by the name of Anita Bryant? Do you all know who that is? The older generation, we do, but the younger generation, I'm sure you don't. Well, Anita Bryant lived in Florida. She was a beauty queen. I'll use the word beauty very loosely because she was such an ugly person on the inside. Anyway, one of her sponsorships was Florida Orange Juice, and she was doing the commercials and everything for them. And all of a sudden, she decided that she was going to bash gay people. She was on this crusade, this campaign to ban gay people in any way, shape, or form from the public view. She just really hated us. Jerry Falwell jumped on the bandwagon. Ronald Reagan did too. And I'll never forget that time that she stood beside Jerry Falwell, who called us vicious and vile people that we would just as soon kill you as to look at you, demonizing the gay community from the get-go. Well, the time she was at this press conference on TV and a gay guy comes up and slams a pie in her face, oh, it was fabulous. It was just the piece de resistance.
If we were going to go on a crusade across the nation and try to do away with the homosexuals, then we certainly would have done it on June the 8th after one of the most overwhelming victories in the country. But we didn't. We tried to avoid it and went into a place called Norfolk, Virginia, and were met with protest and all kinds of problems. And every...
Security agent? Security agent. No, let him stay.
No.
Let him stay.
Well, at least it's a fruit pie.
I don't condone violence, but sometimes things like that send a message. She didn't get it. Oh, the irony of Republicans. They really are just, I don't know where they come from, but if they were as mad about the Jeffrey Epstein files as they are about gay people existing, maybe some of those real pedophiles would be in prison already. But I'm just saying. I mean, let's get real here. They voted for Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. They voted for a pedophile. And they think that they have the moral justification to judge us? Give me a fucking break. Crazy Looney Tune motherfuckers. God, I hope I don't sound too bitter on this episode, but you know what? Sometimes we have to unleash the forked tongue. This is Pride Month, goddammit, and we're going to celebrate and we're going to enjoy it. We are going to be filled with love and peace and happiness, and if we have to kick some fucking right-winger's ass, we just might have to. I'm just kidding. They're not worth going to prison over. That's the main thing to remember. You know, guys, just absolutely. Always remember that. Do y'all remember when the Supreme Court ruled in favor of same-sex marriage with a 5-4 vote? Our president was President Barack Obama. And I just remember that evening, there was a big celebration in downtown. And all of us that were down there, we were all just like, I never thought I'd see this day happen. And I just remember the way we celebrated that night, partying it up. It truly felt like freedom. For the first time on a national level, it felt like our government was saying that we should be treated equally. We shouldn't be judged for who we love. We should be treated the same as any other couple that exists. It truly felt like freedom. Now, look at where we are. Aren't you all like me? Don't you just wish sometimes that we could go back to those days when things weren't so heavy, that you didn't wake up every morning dreading about what the motherfucker is saying, what else has he done to destroy our reputation as a country, when you could worry about your own life and not them interfering with it. It really is this fucking huge 180 that we've taken. And truly a step back into, I guess, post-Civil War times, the bitterness and anger of right-wing people, the conservatives, who just seem to hate everything except for money. Isn't it funny, too, just on a basic level of common sense, where we should love nature, we should love trees and clean water and animals, and the right-wing Republicans conservatives, Nazis, whatever you want to call them, they seem to take the pro-pollution approach. They choose anything that can harm our water, our air, nature. They seem to take the side of whoever that is. I thought everybody would want clean water. I thought everybody would want clean air. But it's very clear that there are people that don't. They will choose money and business every time over the health and well-being of the average person. To me, that's fucked up. I don't know how you all feel about that, but it really does seem just so bizarre to me that common sense things like clean water and clean air, there should be no controversy over that. But to hear them say it, everything else is more important than you being able to drink water out of your faucet. I mean, it truly does feel like Republicans view freedom, democracy, as something that they should tell you what it is. See, to me, freedom is whatever you want to do, be, how you want to exist, how you want to live. That's your choice. That's your decisions. They seem to be saying, no, we'll decide what freedom is. We'll decide what clean water is. We'll decide what clean air is. We'll decide who you should love and who you shouldn't. We'll decide if women should have equal rights. They don't even seem to get that. They don't understand that they are the very antithesis of what freedom really means. Freedom really means is the government not interfering in your fucking life. And under Republicans, that's all they do. I mean, did I tell you about the fact that in Tennessee, a certain county's school board banned the book Roots by Alex Haley? They've bowed to pressure and restored the book back to library shelves in the schools. But think about that for a minute. Alex Haley, it's a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel. Alex Haley is a son of Tennessee. There is actually a statue in the city of Knoxville in his honor. And they deemed the book a threat to children's knowledge. It is bewildering how they think censorship is a positive. But what do you expect from people like them? They want to treat drag queens, entertainers, the same as they would a pedophile, but only certain pedophiles. It's very strange, isn't it, how they are going above and beyond to protect Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Why would they do that? Except for the fact that most of the people that are in those files are people that they know, and that are people that are super rich and are probably funding their political campaigns. It's criminal, the hypocrisy of conservatives. And that includes conservatives in the UK and around the world. Thankfully, in Hungary, they purged themselves of all the monsters of their conservative party. And look at what's happening there. The gay community there is beginning to flourish again. They don't have to hide in fear of their own government. Sometimes I wish that straight white men had to fear the government. Would it change their philosophy, their ideology? Would they have sympathy? I may have quoted this before, but I want to quote it again. A Republican will say, well, that shouldn't happen to me. Democrats, we say, it shouldn't happen to anybody. And that's the difference. That's why they take the approach of being pro-pollution, if you will, pro-big business. They don't care if the air is being polluted in a county in Mississippi or the water's being polluted in a rural county in Tennessee. They only care if it's their air, their water being polluted and contaminated. Then they want to do something. It's just their standard philosophy. It really is. I just get so tired of the bullshit. I know you all do too, and I guess you get tired of hearing me harp on it all the time. But I just want to make sure that everybody knows that despite what I talk about, I'm not forgetting what these fuckers were trying to do to us. I absolutely know. And it is something here during Pride Month to think about being a person who's gay, queer, bi, pan, hetero, anything. But just the fact that we exist is an act of rebellion in their eyes. When we look at it, we're just living our lives. Isn't it really something that we are a threat to them just by existing? And they can't even tell you why you're a threat to them, other than they're afraid that they might be intrigued enough to participate in a gangbang, orgy, whatever you want to call it, themselves. Because I have a feeling, and this is true too, the ones who scream the loudest against something are usually the most guilty. Wouldn't you agree? I sure do. I wonder how much shade I can throw tonight when I'm wearing my shirt that says, I slap Weezer Boudreaux. I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? Wait, you don't know Weezer Boudreaux? You don't know where that comes from?
Wait, what?
What the hell?
And you call yourself a gay person?
Yes. No.
Have you ever heard of the movie Steel Magnolias?
I don't know.
Well, if you haven't watched it, you better get your ass on the streaming services and watch it right now, damn it. It is quintessential gay in the ultimate way. I mean, my God, Olympia Dukakis, Sally Field, Julia Roberts, Shirley MacLaine, Dolly Parton. Is it Daryl Hannah? Yeah, I think it's Daryl Hannah. I mean, goddamn. That locker room scene, by the way, whoo, that's some nice ass in that. Anyway, surely you all know Steel Magnolias. If you don't, I'm very disappointed. So you need to educate yourself right away on that. And while you're at it, you might as well watch Fried Green Tomatoes. Ah, memories. It really is the little things in life that make it even more special. Don't you agree? For me, it does. I mean, just the little things. I remember being on a long business trip, and I could not find Pepsi products. They had Coca-Cola, but I was just dying for a Diet Pepsi. And I just remember landing in Detroit on the way back, and the first thing I grabbed was a Diet Pepsi. And it was just the best. It just tasted so good. It's just one of those little things that I appreciated about coming home. We were talking about it the other day. Just like one of the things, you know, growing up around farm people, there's all kinds of animals everywhere. Chickens, cows, goats, horses, ducks, you name it. But just sitting out in a field and watching them graze or just walk around, it can be the most peaceful and soothing thing that you could do. It was always a great way to unwind if you had a bad day. Go out into the fields and watch the cows roam and graze and watch the chickens go through the front yard, getting all the bugs and things and keeping the grass clear of ticks and things. Listening to the birds in the trees. Just those simple things can make things a bit easier. It's so amazing that people try to demonize gay pride. But to me, gay pride is like sitting there in the field and enjoying nature, just watching life exist in the natural world. There's a connection there where pride is that same feeling of peace and strength and the joy of knowing that you're not alone in this battle, that there are plenty of people who are just like us, who know what it's like to go through the things we've gone through just to exist. And I will always view pride in that special way. Well, we've come to that time again, the end of another episode of Alan After Dark, and I can't believe how fast time flies when we're having fun drinking and bashing Republicans. But that's how we roll, isn't that right, sinners and saints? I hope you enjoyed this week's discussion, and I hope to see you all again next week for another round of craziness or seriousness or whatever comes to mind. But as always, remember, take life by the balls and be real. We'll see you soon.